Okay, so after having played this for a while on my own, I've come to the determination that I almost beat it. My main character, I'm probably gonna make a point to go through that and finish that. But having experienced the systems, the classes, played around with some of the things, and based on other videos that I've watched about the different mythic paths do, I decided to make another character, and we're going to run through on a build that I think is going to be particularly fun, and should be strong enough to let me bump up the difficulty. So this is Zalelch, and for now he is a mutation warrior, and I'm going to go with a pretty interesting build, which I did steal from Bolshi, with some minor adjustments for what I think is a better, well, more my style. So I've definitely personalized what he made. But here we go. So if you haven't watched my other videos, starting over again, Anivia here watched us get carted in and is commenting that I've been leaving.
My, would you look at this? But why would you drag a wounded fighter into the middle of the festival square? Couldn't he be carted off somewhere else, like, oh, I don't know, an infirmary? Or an accommodating ditch?
Damn, I'm being a dick.
Make room, everyone! Step back! Now, what's the matter? What happened to him? The wound looks nasty. Who did this to him?
You hear the stern voice of an elderly man, but you're so weak you can't even turn your head to look in his direction.
Demons, prelate. We found him barely alive outside the walls of Canabris.
The walls, you say? Enemy doesn't usually stray so close to the city. Must fortify the defenses. And you, hold fast. Don't die. We'll see you right. We'll get you patched up now. But first, you there, guard. Take his weapons. Bearing arms is not permitted during the festival. Wounded or not, everyone must abide by the rules. He can get his things back after the festival. O Inheritor, leader of our troops, the sharpened edge of our blades and the unyielding strength of our armor, Iomade, I beseech you, grant your mercy. Heal his wounds.
The magic envelops you, but your pain lessens only slightly. Water, I won't give up that easy. Let me die. Cut your teeth. I won't give up that easy.
Hear, hear! That's the Crusader spirit. My powers are not enough here. Someone call for Terendelev. You there! Yes, you! Stop dithering and gawping and make yourself useful. Go and get Terendelev!
Prelate, surely there is somebody else here better suited to running errands.
I'll get her! Terendelev! Has anyone seen Terendelev?
Be quick about it before it's too late. Now, who are you? I don't remember seeing you before, and I have an excellent memory for faces.
So you can give your name, you can say you're a Crusader, you can say you're a private business, you've lived in the city a long time, traveler, you don't remember, and Glenn is none of your business. So we're gonna go with none of your business.
What? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
My dear prelate, please, for the sake of the festivities, stop interrogating this poor man. He has been through enough already. Go on. I'll take care of him.
All right, as you wish. You are our protector,
Really bothers
and a
me
dragon
that
at that. So I shall defer to your wisdom. But be on your guard. I've been informed he was wounded near Canabris. That means the demons are prowling just outside the walls, and the city is crawling with their spies. Others may be able to relax on this holiday, but not you or I. Not the defenders of this city.
Muttering discontentedly, the odd man walks off. Old man. He's also odd.
Pry loose the grudging grip of pain. Cast off the veil of suffering flesh.
Oops, sorry. Just
Let light and life go forth in triumph to repel the skulking shade of death. There.
Thank you for helping me.
I accept your thanks. but my work is not yet done.
Who are you?
My name is Terendelev. I am the protector of this city.
Are you really a dragon?
You don't believe me? Perhaps I should retake my true form and engulf this square with my ice breath to win your trust. Pay no mind to my current guise. I appear this way when I walk among the people. I would hamper the festivities if I tried to attend in my true form.
What happened to me?
I do not know yet, and that troubles me. I am not entirely sure what the demons did to you. This wound is no ordinary injury, and it was inflicted by no ordinary weapon. I have rid you of your pain and restored your strength, but only time will allow you to heal fully.
Can I go?
Certainly, but be careful. I have managed to get you back on your feet, but I have not healed you fully. Alas, sooner or later, your pain will return. But do not be discouraged. You will recover, I promise you that. Tomorrow, come to the cathedral and say that you are expected by Terendelev, protector of Canabras. We will find a way to help you. But for now, put this out of your mind and enjoy the festival. They are all too rare in this time of war, and merriment is one of the best medicines.
Example of the special festival drink. Okay, so what we're actually going to do, we're going to ignore the tooltips. Seems this is like my third time through. And I did play Kingmaker, so I know the gist of most of it. There are some differences, namely like the Crusader mode. But there's also some like class differences. Well, there's a lot more additional classes. Bam, right in the jaw. You call it a punch? Here, let me show you how it's done. There's a lot more classes in this one, which I very much appreciate. Besides that, I haven't noticed too much that's different. Mostly it's just a more refined version of the game. Or of the previous title, I should say. Love me a drink, especially when the city's footing the bill. What do you say, another round? Dun. So I like that, like, there are already characters. Like, that was Sela. All the little things that you don't notice the first time you play.
Poor imposter. Your city will fall to me. Your followers will feed my hunger.
So he just killed a son of a dragon with 2 hits. Decapitated.
Discari's here. Discari himself. Blimey! One minute we had a dragon, the next, bam, she was gone. What are you gonna do? Fight or flee? If flee is your plan, let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
Care to lend me a weapon? I'll try to fight the demons.
Sure thing. Here, take this. Best crossbow I've got. The person who made it said it could pierce the hide of a demon lord even. Good luck! Try not to get eaten now!
I like how he just runs away.
A mortal gnat snaps its jaws at the Lord of Locusts. Behold, Iomade. Behold the death I sow.
Such a great introduction to the game. Most of them start pretty slow. This one's just like right in the middle of a demon invasion.
The silver dragon, Terendelev, the defender of Canabras, fell in battle. Hardly surprising, as she had to fight the demon lord Discari himself. He willed the land to part and swallow all who dared to stand in his way. But the war was still far from over.
Okay, so just making sure I'm not missing any drops or anything.
Holy mother of...
Small woman with messy brown hair winces in pain, uttering a stream of curses through clenched teeth. She is pinned to the ground by a couple of weighty boulders.
Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
I feel them all right. Wouldn't say no to a little less feeling in them. My ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too.
That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... Hey! Fancy meeting you down here. You're the one that Terendelev healed today, right? You aren't injured, are you? Will you help me get her out from under the boulders?
Okay, so again, in case you haven't seen previous videos, so this gives you options as to what you can do. Ironically, the evil choice would be, you don't have to roll 3 versus an 8. Okay, let's start this off.
Yeah, sure thing. Look, you don't owe us anything, after all. Here, take this. It's all I got. Now do me a favor and get me out of here.
Summoning all your strength, you manage to lift the rocks up enough to free the wounded woman from the rubble.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, I've had worse. I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own stuck under there. I'm Anevia Tirabade, of the Eagle Watch. I was overseeing security at the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have something nasty planned. What actually happened, though, now that I did not see coming. I don't think anyone could have been prepared for that.
Also the
Well,
voice
I'm
acting.
Sela, Paladin by the grace of Iomade. I crossed the whole continent to come to Mendev and fight demons. And well, I've been fighting for a while now.
Voice acting is really good.
I don't even want to think what might be happening up there in the city. Canabras has lost the protection of Terendelev, and of the Wardstone too, looks like. It's a relic without equal. It was placed here personally by Iomade's herald, with the goddess's blessing. I really wanted to go see it, to pray before it. But there's no point worrying about a stone when there are people dying in the streets.
Yeah, things are looking grim enough, but don't lose heart. Wardstone or no, dragon or no, Canabras will never give in. Simple as. Well, we've introduced ourselves. What about you?
I'm a destiny. I don't know why fate has brought me here, but I feel it's not by chance. Traveler, who I am is none of your business. I'm a scholar. I came here to see the world wound with my own eyes.
Didn't you pick a great spot to do your research? I know what you scholar types are like. When it comes to your intellectual curiosity, you just don't see danger. And in the world wound, we got more danger than anywhere else.
You should be glad we still got scholars who want to come here to study our enemies, and not just stay home to count the spots on butterflies. Now then, I'll hobble my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far, only 30 paces or so. That's if you're going straight up, of course. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go the long way round.
To summarize, there are 3 of us, with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and one made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Anevia, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the two of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open skies soon.
Okay. So I'm not gonna stick with this for... Oh, cool. Right off the bat, I get my weapon. Give me longbow. Okay, yep, that works. Actually, let's...
I know the way.
Oh, I was like, why is the ground going? That's kind of important to pick up. Ah, yes.
Who's there?
The fine apparel of this young half-elf woman is torn and stained with blood, dust, and dirt. However, she holds herself with such dignity that you would be forgiven for thinking you were at a high social party, or high society party, and not in the dank catacombs under the city. Her fingers grip her rapier hilt with confidence, ready to draw it at a moment's notice. At her feet lies a dead body, so mutilated that at first glance it's hard to tell if it's animal or human.
Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists. Don't poke my eye out with that thing, all right? We fell down here during the attack. I'm Sela, that's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
Really? I'm so ever glad to hear it.
Girl will actually later.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square when... I can scarcely believe it. How did all those demons get into the city? I thought, naively it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. And Terendelev, I can't wrap my head around it.
So this is a really good way of dealing with not only introducing characters and settings, but like background stuff. Like they talk about the Wardstone, which is how the Mandevian cities are protected. So the Wardstones are a chain of powerful artifacts keeping the World Wound's expansion at bay. The first and greatest in the chain was erected in the city of Canabras by the hand of the Inheritor himself, a golden-winged angel sent by the goddess Iomade. So we're gonna... not many could withstand a strike from a demon lord, not even Terendelev.
I can't argue with that. We're fortunate to be alive, albeit underground.
Daskari himself has come to Canabras. There's no mistaking that ugly mug. Terendelev tried to fight him, but what could she do against a near deity? Even the Wardstone was no help. Our city used to be protected by powerful forces, but now...
We've seen how powerless they truly are. Henceforth, we shall have no one but ourselves to rely on, I suppose.
What happens per
I don't
Manhuzi?
know. He must have been in the square when disaster struck. I tried to revive him, but he was already dead, sadly.
He didn't get these wounds from the fall. Be on your guard. Whatever killed him likely hasn't gone far.
Hang on. I think I know him. His name's Aravashniel, the egghead from the library. He was a good lad, even if he was kind of stuck up.
Do you want to
May his
join us?
soul rest in peace.
Oh, do you want to join us?
Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves?
We need to keep moving. There must be a way back to the surface somewhere around here.
That's right. It would be the height of foolishness to survive a demon attack only to perish under a pile of rubble.
Let's see if this poor bloke has anything useful on him. Not to sound like a heartless brigand or nothing, but we kinda need all the supplies we can get right now.
she can't. I'm gonna give her the crossbow. And I'll take the bow for now.
Ready for anything. Our victory is certain.
Okay, don't show this tutorial. So this is going to tell you about the difference between turn-based mode and real-time pause mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. You switch between it by pressing T, but so this is real-time with pause. So the same actions will occur in the two different combat modes. But there's a number of major differences. So obviously you have to take actions as they happen in turn-based mode.
Follow my lead.
So it's a lot slower, probably the best word for that. But it's much more not responsive, but you're able to like better plan things out.
Victorious.
But since these things are pretty easy to kill in this part of the game, what we're gonna do... Left. No, right.
Enemy approaching.
What we're gonna do for just the start of the game, because it goes faster, is we're gonna go in real time with pause. There's not gonna be too much that happens for a while that's gonna like cause any major problems. Give her the bracers? No. That's 4. Are these actually rank? Oh, yeah, they're only +1s. Okay. That's right, I forgot I have these. Yeah, so there's not too much we're going to run across in here that's going to cause us any major problems. I think there's like a couple more difficult fights after we get up out of...
Our victory is certain.
Out of here. She's not doing too good.
Focus on the goal.
Save the last one for me.
Oh yes, also Anivia helps you out for all this. Oh. Failed to skin him. We found people.
No, I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere.
You struggle to make out the man's features in the gloom. As soon as he steps into the circle of light, however, you realize you have never encountered a creature like this before. The stranger looks like the work of a vivisectionist who attempted to stitch together a lizard and a man.
When to walk?
The man notices you and freezes. The curling horn protruding from his head casts a malevolent shadow on the cave wall.
Lan, did you find it? Who is that?
The woman looks just as strange as her companion, like a cross between a cat and a spider. When she catches sight of you, she immediately drops into a fighting stance. Her movements reveal the lethal grace of a wild predator.
The do-gooders here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait. They might know what's going on up there.
Demons are laying waste to Canabras.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield mace. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze...
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Canabras. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
Who are you, tieflings?
Tieflings are the descendants of people who sullied themselves by mating with demons. Our ancestors would never sink that low. We are the underground crusaders, the children of the Crusade's finest.
Sadly, underground crusaders is a bit of a mouthful, so people usually just call us mongrels.
You just love repeating that, don't you, Lan? Mongrels. That's what the Uplanders call us. But we call ourselves Neathers.
No matter what you call us, it's not gonna stop our horns, hooves, or tails from growing.
I've never heard of Underground Crusaders before.
In Canabras, they're called mongrels. People say that they come up to the surface at night and eat anyone foolish enough to wander alone after midnight. To tell you the truth, I thought you guys were just a tale to tell kids at night.
That's human gratitude for you. Our forefathers suffered the consequences of demonic corruption, all to protect Mendev and Golarion. And for what? So we could become monsters used to frighten children.
So Canabras is a city in Mendev. Mendev is a country in Golarion. And Mendev is... So the nation of Mendev is a land defined by its conflict with abyssal forces unheard of anywhere else on Golarion. The people of this beleaguered land are locked in a constant struggle with the Whirlwind, the demonic rift that lies beyond its western border. So Mendev was neighboring a country called Sarkoris, and in Sarkoris is where a wizard mage named Arilu Vorlesh opened up the Whirlwind, which allowed demons to enter Golarion as they pleased, basically. And then Golarion is the name of the planet. So the planet Golarion orbits a yellow sun in the far reaches of the material plane. Third of 11 in orbit, this blue planet contains vast oceans and lush green lands, and is the perfect environment for countless cultures. Indeed, Golarion is the most popular planet in its solar system. Populous, sorry. Its innately hospitable and life-sustaining environment is presumably the work of the gods, so astronomers sometimes refer to Golarion as the Child. Astronomers of other planets, however, often refer to Golarion as the Cage, in reference to its cosmic role as the prison of the mad god, Rovagug, who lies bound at the world's core.
Every mongrel has their own take on it. Our chief, for example, thinks of us as something like a reserve military force. He thinks we're standing by until the moment we're needed, and when we emerge on the surface and save the day, all the people will see how good we are, and they'll love us for it. Yeah, he leaves that last part out when he talks about it, of course, but it's easy enough to read between the lines.
What is this place?
This is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this, trust me. Sometimes we even wipe the dust off the exhibits.
This is where the relics of the First Crusaders are displayed. Our lives are short. Our glories are quickly forgotten. But this place helps us to remember that we are just as worthy as anyone else. And that our lives are not lived in vain.
The First Crusaders? You've been down here that long? That's crazy.
I just realized that, like, streaming this game makes me really tired for some reason. I yawn in, like, every video, even though normally around this time if I'm playing, I'm a little worn out from my day's work, but, like, I'm not this tired. So maybe it's just I don't sleep very well on the days before I stream, but I don't sleep very well in generally, so that can't be it. Anyways, what are you doing here?
That's none of your bit.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground crusaders to take up arms. If we get the holy sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame, and will burn anyone who touches it. Do you think you're special, Lan?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
Wenduag shrugs and turns away. Maze, does it really lead to the surface?
There are other ways up, but they are far from here. And after the earthquakes, there's a good chance they've collapsed. But the maze... There's a legend among our people that when the walls of the maze fall, that will be a signal for us, the underground crusaders, that the time has come to go up to the surface and fight the demons in the final confrontation. Until then, the people say the maze is shielding us from taking rash actions. I'm the only one in our whole tribe to have been in the maze. And even I don't know if it's true. But the further I went in the maze, the fresher the air became. That means that it really must lead to the surface.
When the ceiling and walls started shaking, the young ones in our tribe lost their heads. They figured the maze was going to collapse, so it was time to go up to the surface. They grabbed whatever weapons were on hand and ran off toward the maze. They think the maze is no longer a danger to them. They've been listening to Wenduag too much.
Don't try to blame this on me. Yes, I told them that our people are capable of making our way through the maze. In the future. But I always told them to wait until I had made a map of all the maze's dangers. I warned them 100 times. But it was no use. My words just went in one ear and out the other.
A sword of holy flame? How did it wind up down here?
It came here with its owner. A long time ago. 50,000 gongs to be precise.
70 years ago, in Uplander time.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial, and they were laid to rest with their weapons. But the flaming angelic sword was stuck in a rock, and no one was able to pull it out. It burned to the touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave. It should be here somewhere.
So I just did a little bit of quick math and I probably got it wrong, but 50,000 into 70 years is like 1.9 something. So a gong is every 2 days, which is weird.
Maybe the angel will dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this chaos.
Lan, watch your tongue.
We'll find the sword faster if we work together. I'll help you.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. The sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What, you want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface? So be it.
Now, what is that?
Failed my religion check. Great.
What a find!
I found something.
That is not far.
What do we have here?
What's that there?
Strange flash pierces the gloom, and Zalelch feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Turndalev reopens and weeps scarlet, but there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears, a cave chamber. This one, or another one entirely. Zalelch's heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly bursts into his mind. Thoughts that clearly belong to another. Treachery. They betrayed me, trapped me, and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I swore to protect, the people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are, up ahead in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from the traitor's blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join with the traitors and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have strength, I must. While recognizing the foreign origin of these thoughts, Zalelch intuits that he can control them somehow. Let's try to heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before Zalelch. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, "Lario, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said that the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true?" The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes, observing the stars. A young female paladin praying, clutching her glowing sword. A majestic, golden-winged angel gazing into the distance, his face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There is no going back. Then don't waste your strength healing me, the girl whispers. Your mission is more important. You take care. It is near. There, in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths. A vague shadow, an outline, a nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirping and rustling emanates from the shadow. The sound piercing like hot irons lacing through flesh and bone. The traitors fall to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wound burns white hot. Zalelch's head pounds with pain, and it is no longer clear whose pain it is. The person called Lario, who sent this vision, or the one unlucky enough to receive it. So I only have +1 on that, whereas Will, I have +2. But Zalelch is determined to fight off the illusion. Oh, I succeeded. Reroll. Nice, rolled a 17. The force of the attack, though originating in a vision, is terrifying, but Zalelch is stronger. He shakes off the pain and torpor, but alas, the one who sent the vision cannot claim the same. He is broken and exhausted. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in this strange vision or memory, but the thrill of fear provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the woman they called Lario. The foolish angel struggling on the rocks, like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whisper to a sonorous shout, becoming young, then old and quavering. Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven? A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called Lario. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with his last burst of strength, he plunges it into the rock. Zalelch senses the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is this. You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day, someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and punish evildoers and traitors. The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. Zalelch does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them, something else. The heat blazing in Zalelch's chest fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not a scar behind. Looking down, Zalelch sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline. The memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes, and the light is drawn into his hand. Zalelch's Zalelch senses that it will return. All you need to do is call it.
Hey,
Are you all right?
you were kinda glowing just now.
Sela kneels before the light, offering up a prayer to Iomade.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
You saw it too? The traitors, the dying girl?
It's only us here. Your group, you, me, Wendu, and the light of heaven that sort of got, sucked into you. Any chance you can whip it out again? We do kinda need it. Sorry, I crack jokes when I get nervous, and when I'm upset, and when I'm happy. Anyway, what I said, it came out wrong. We need to bring you to Chief Sull. You can show everyone the light of heaven, we'll rally the tribe and go into the maze, and we'll get back our kin.
And what if he can't make it happen a second time? What then? The tribe will just say we're crazy and turn its back on us.
So you don't... let's just do this one. Actually, let's see what happens. I think I saw the memories of Lyral, the angel who died here.
Lariel? That really was Lariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Now, Wentwog, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff, because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that. I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Sull, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the Abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
It seems I can control it.
That is just... wow! I mean, that's amazing! Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar. But this light is more... golden? Chief Sull needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Canabras.
Do we care about our kids? I don't know, it's kind of the question nowadays. Lead us to your chief and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really. Can't hide from me.
Now what is that?
Okay, so let's pick up the rest of the loot.
I'm all ears.
Really quickly, because I know this is a big deal. What's the problem? Okay.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
So we're not going to show that. So basically, these give you difficulty challenges to pass. The game will automatically pick whoever has the highest score for
We are the light.
the roll,
They are the
and
darkness.
then it'll have them go perform the check. So DC 11 to get across this. Probably gonna have Land do it. Yep, that's what I
The
thought.
mongrel did it. I'll go ahead.
The heartbeat quickens.
I'll rip you apart!
Whiffs.
I found something.
Okay. Get across again.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
We're gonna have to take a minute to stop.
Let me draw the first blood.
Damn, that's gonna be head.
No reason to pause.
Yeah, it's just gonna explain attacks, which we already know about, so we're not gonna bother. Okay, so you can move on. So that's what we're gonna do with you.
Well,
Matricium Turinos.
Oh, oh, that's good.
What a we will be victorious.
I'm gonna switch weapons because this is closing the Oh. So normally you'd want to switch weapons when one of your ranged characters gets into melee, because if you make a ranged attack or cast a spell while in melee combat, the enemy automatically gets attacks of opportunity on you, which is basically just attacks, but they're limited by the number of them they can have. Some enemies have unlimited, but that's more rare. But anyways, yeah. So if you attack with a ranged weapon or try to cast a spell next to an enemy without prerequisite feats, they get to automatically attack you. Windowhead glances at Lan, who is fixing his slip bowstring, and quickly walks over to you. Her cat-like eyes glow from beneath her hood. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you come from, but you and I are the only two people here to see things clearly. That's why I'm asking you. Don't show the light of heaven to Sol. Lan is sure that the light should be shown to the mongrels. Lan, Windowhead grimaces, and a guttural husky snarl unfurls in her throat. He wants to play the hero. His first idea, if you remember, was to grab the sword and run headlong into the maze. Does that sound like a plan to you? To me, it sounds like suicide. The worst part is that the tribe might actually take his words to heart and follow where he leads. I thought you considered the mongrels to be great warriors. The descendants of great warriors. I believe that my people are worthy of greatness, that we are strong and we can do many things. That's why we were chased down here. We scared people. But it's one thing to go hunting in caves and another to fight in the shield maze. Windowhead leans closer, her pupils dilating. I've been there. I've spent my whole life training so I can make it through all the way to the end. There were more of us trackers at the start. We were young and stupid. What's a couple of monsters when there's a whole world out there waiting for us? That's what we thought, but we weren't prepared. The maze isn't just a physical challenge. It's cunning, and it's full of traps. It's dark as the primordial night, and if you close your eyes and listen, you can hear whispers right behind you, and soft singing in the distance that seems to rise and fall with the beating of your heart. Windowhead looks away. I had to learn from my friends' mistakes. I had to step over their bodies and go further. I don't want to have to do that again. And it will happen again if a crowd of ill-prepared fighters burst into the maze with no idea where they're going, all because Lan believes that a glowing sword will solve all of our problems. Don't you want to save the kids lost in the maze? I do want to, but I'm not going to risk the future of the tribe for the sake of a few stupid kids. Chief Sol is hesitant, and for good reason. He also understands how dangerous this is for the tribe. Lan's the only one who benefits from these childish games of heroism. I'll go alone if I have to and find them, or whatever's left of them, without any heroics, relying only on myself, risking only my life. Windowhead slows. You and your friends. You can come with me. Perhaps we can make it to the end of the maze together and find the way out to the surface. I'll think about it. Let's go. Oops, I forgot to read that. She just repeats that she doesn't want us to show Chief Soul the light. And that's actually where I'm going to end it for today. I'm going to take a quick nap. I'll probably be back on later to stream more of this one. But thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Just because that helps